Hi, welcome to the Peaceful Home. I'm Teresa Elling, and I'm so glad you've joined me today. We are going to talk about the 10 things that I do every year to start the new year out right. If you're new here, my name is Teresa Elling, and I am a professional organizer along with several other things, but that is what our focus is going to be today, getting organized for the new year. These are 10 things that I have done for many, many years, and it really will get you organized and give you a very strong start for the new year. The first 4 things I'm going to talk about are really on paper things, meaning you can just sit in your favorite chair with a cup of coffee and work on these things. Linger in bed in the morning and work on this stuff. And then the next 6 are more action oriented. So grab a pen and take some notes. Number 1 is review the previous year. For many years, I have kept all of my calendars and planners until I had such a huge box filled with them that I decided I was going to declutter those. I got myself a notebook. I went back and I transferred all of the data from those calendars and planners into my notebook for a permanent record, and then I disposed of those. Now, of course, you can keep all those things if you have the space and it's something you want to do. I just decided that I didn't need to keep a calendar from 10 years ago if I wrote down the highlights somewhere else. So I quickly go through month by month and just jot down the key events, people we saw, appointments we had, significant events, and things that were happening that month. And I don't use my best handwriting. I don't use complete sentences. I just kind of jot these things down as quickly as I can. My husband and I put some time aside either between Christmas and New Year's or at the beginning of the year, and we go over our calendar. So by now I've already kind of hit all the highlights of the year, but we choose our top 10. And we go over those together. We kind of pick what were the best things that happened this year. Maybe a key vacation, maybe a grandchild being born. We also do not necessarily a top 10 because we're not searching for 10, but we do what were the worst things that happened this year. We really believe that it's important to be honest about the negative things that happen in our lives, that we're aware of them, that we process those things with God. And so we jot those down too. In addition, we choose what were the biggest curveballs of the previous year. Now for 2020, I think everyone will have the same thing on their curveball list, and that is COVID-19. I don't think there could have been a bigger curveball, maybe in history, but what a crazy year. So after we do that, we've got like our highlights, the best and the worst of the year. Then we also jot down all the books that we read the previous year, any movies we watched, as well as any TV shows that were regular for us or that we were kind of binge watching. And it just gives us an easy way to look back and see what that year looked like. The last thing to add would be any personal things that you did or skills that you learned, usually in regards to a hobby. Let's say you're a hiker. What were the best hikes that you did that year? Let's say you're a chef. What were your favorite new recipes of the year? For us, one of the things we do are what were the projects that we did on the property, just so we can keep track. It becomes really easy to forget when we built a deck or made a trail. And so part of that is looking back and seeing, you know what? We did a lot more than we thought. And that is very rewarding. Number 2 is to get your new calendar in order. Now, I am a paper calendar person. So if you're not, if you are a digital person, you keep your calendar on your phone or iPad or whatever, you can do that. If you are a paper person, then you need to transfer all of your birthdays, anniversaries, and key dates to your new calendar. So typically in previous years, I've spent Christmas Day doing that. We do our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day is a really fun, relaxing day. And after we've opened gifts, I would typically just relax, pull out my new planner, transfer all my birthdays, which I write in red and I circle the year of the birthday or the anniversary. I also take a look at my husband's school calendar and make sure that I have all of the vacation days and holidays marked on my calendar. Lastly, I look at my December page of my last calendar to see all of the things that I recorded for the new year that I didn't have a spot to put them. So maybe I have a dentist appointment in April. I would jot that at the end of the year. And so now it's time to put it on my new calendar. If you're interested in more information on how to do a paper planner and how to plan out your days and your weeks, let me know in the comments below. That might be a great idea for a future video. Number 3 is to evaluate the holidays. Now, by holidays, I mainly mean Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And really Christmas. I look back at how the Christmas holidays went. Do I need to do something earlier next year? Do I need a different timeline? How was our budget this year? Do I need a different budget? Now, one thing that we do is we do a Christmas Club account with our bank, which means we set our budget, divide by 12, and we have that amount each month transferred automatically from our checking account into a Christmas Club account. And then November 1st, our bank sends us a check for the whole amount that's in that account. And that's our budget for Christmas. So I just evaluate, have we added new sons-in-law? Have we added new grandkids? Is there anything that's changed in our budget? Do we need to increase or decrease our monthly savings amount? I also look at projects, crafts, things that I really wanted to try that I didn't have time to do. And I write those down as possibilities for next year. Now, I have kept this notebook for years, and this was well before the internet. So if I had a page in a magazine of an idea, something I wanted to try, I would rip it out and put it in this folder. I also printed out forms from my computer for our gift giving and decorating ideas, our budget, all of that. And I just keep track of it so that each year I have a record of what I did for Christmas and ideas for the following years. I also write down ideas for gift giving because a lot of times I have ideas for things I wanted to make for people, but if you wait until December, it's just too crazy to begin trying to hand make gifts. So I put that on my calendar maybe for August so I can begin to slowly start working on those things. Number 4 is to set goals. I'm not going to go into the whole thing about setting SMART goals and what that means. You can look that up or let me know if you would like to see a different video on that. But the main thing for me, I separate my goals into quarters, and I do that by the season. So January and February, which are only 2 months, that's my winter season. And then March, April, and May is my spring season. June, July, and August is summer. And September, October, and November is fall. I keep December off because December is just its own month, and we've just got stuff going for Christmas, so I don't even include that in my goal setting. For right now, all I'm focusing on is January and February. This list of 10 things is really what I have set as my goals for January. And then February continues with mainly decluttering my entire household. I'll go through the whole house. So I began to look at what goals do I want to set for January and February, talk those things over with my husband. We set some goals together, some goals for the property, goals for church, and then our personal goals. Number 5 is make a decision about a spiritual fast and clean out my pantry. We usually fast each January, and it's different from year to year what we decide to fast. Currently, we're doing a Daniel fast, and that, of course, does include not eating sugar. And I'm going through the 40-Day Sugar Fast book by Wendy Speak, and it's a great devotional, a book I highly recommend regardless of what you're fasting. It's very helpful for any type of fast. And then we make sure to go through our pantry, kind of declutter all of the sweets, the candies, the junk food from the holidays. All of that stuff just kind of tends to creep in, even if it's from gifts and having relatives over. And so we usually give ourselves a good week after New Year's to finish things up, clear things out, and have a fresh start with our pantry and ready to start our fast. Number 6 is to put away Christmas decorations. Now, in my previous video where I did winter decorating after Christmas, I talked about how I don't put everything away. I clear out all of the red and all of the obviously Christmas things, but I still leave up winter decor. I'll link that video below in case you missed it, but clearing out Christmas and having a chance to clean your house really well, vacuum up those pine needles, get things back in order, get Christmas gifts put away, is just very satisfying. Number 7 is to go through paperwork. Now, I set this as a goal sometime in January, and I go through my entire filing system. Every single piece of paper, go through it, get rid of old things, and get a fresh start with your files. And I might do another video on that just to show my process with that, what I do keep in a file cabinet, what you really don't need to keep, and how to control paper clutter. Number 8 is to go through all of your memorabilia. This would be all of the keepsake items, things from your childhood, things from raising your own children, all the things that you're keeping as special memories. A lot of times people store up memorabilia and it's put away in a garage or attic. They never look at it, so it doesn't really help with your memories. And then you have future generations that have to figure out what to do with it. I recently did an organizing job specifically for memorabilia, and that will be an upcoming video, so watch for that in the next couple of weeks. Number 9 is to take care of photos for the year. Now, it would actually be preferable to choose a different time, maybe the end of a school year or a different time of year, so there isn't so much piled onto January. But for me, I find it easier just to say it's the end of the year. So what am I doing with all of my photos from 2020? How am I organizing them? Are there any that I need to print out? What things need to be deleted from my phone or from my computer? I'm also starting something new this year, which is to have a photo book made up by a company where you select the photos, choose them online, and they mail you your photo book. I did scrapbooking back in the day. I did it to keep track of all of my children's school records, but I think this is going to be the easiest way for me to compile my most loved photos for the year. Regardless of what system you use, you have to have some way to keep up with the photos that you take, and there has to be a way to manage them. Number 10 is the easiest of all, and that is to declutter your entire house. Now, of course I'm joking, but that is my goal, to actually do a quick sort of every room and closet in my home between January and February. So that becomes part of the goals that I'm setting for the winter quarter. And as far as how I will go about that, I can set my goals specifically, but that is what I want to do, is to be able to hit my whole house all the way through. There is something about the beginning of the year and just a reset that gives you more of a motivation to really declutter and get rid of things that you're not using anymore. So these are the top 10 things that I do each January to get ready for the new year. So I hope that you will apply some of these. Take just a few minutes to sit down and plan and ask yourself, how do I want to do things differently in this new year than the way I have done things in the past? Give yourself a chance to start some new traditions and do things a new way. And stay tuned for more videos on specifically how to organize different areas of your home, how to deal with memorabilia and paperwork. Thanks for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. You guys ready?
Yeah, I thought you said 1:30.
I did. I was filming, so. Hi. Should I finish it? I only have probably 5 minutes left to film. Okay. Hi, buddy. Want to say hi to the camera? Yeah. Want to say hi?